Bom dia YouTube. So today it's bye Douro Valley, and today in this video we will see three very different landscapes as we head from wine country up here in the north to central Portugal and the village of Monsanto, where people literally live under a rock. More about that later, and you will get expressions of three very different landscapes as we go. Every road trip has its turning point. That moment when you leave behind a place that's become more than just scenery. Driving down to the Douro and climbing out on the other side feels like saying goodbye to an old friend. For days, these slopes and the river have been my companions, shaping every bend and every view. What impresses me about the Douro is that it never makes a big fuss about itself. It's quietly beautiful, content to just be what it is. Everyone has heard of port wine, yet the valley's own Douro DOC table wines are almost unknown beyond Portugal's borders. They stay here like a secret you can only taste if you come. And despite its fame, the valley never feels overly touristy. The villages are lived in, the vineyards are worked, and life carries on with little need to put on a show. That's what makes leaving it feel different. Not like checking off a side of a list, but like stepping away from something genuine. But journeys are made of departures as much as arrivals. The Douro will remain patient and eternal, while I follow the slower roads toward new landscapes, new towns and new stories. That's the beauty of travel. Every ending carries the promise of another beginning. We have left the Douro Valley, and it's not so much wine growing here right now, but we've entered the rolling hills.
200 Metern rechts abbiegen.
We have entered the rolling hills of north central Portugal, and it's still lush and green and very beautiful here. I just need to find a nice spot to show you some of the scenery around here, but it's just pretty. It's not as spectacular as
Straße 14 Kilometer folgen, dann scharf links abbiegen.
It's not as spectacular as Douro Valley with all those wine terraces and amazing views from like one viewpoint after the next when you go up the mountains, when you go up the hills. But it's still very, very nice here, and we'll follow these green rolling hills for quite a while until we enter a more mountainous region and gonna see more granite. Well, there we have it. All those mountain roads of the Douro Valley took a toll on my car's battery, because that can happen when you rent an electric car. So battery was down to 22% and the warning sign kept coming up. So I looked up the nearest fast charger, and here I am in this random Portuguese town that sits somewhere in the hills. I will look up the name of this town in a moment. And I have no idea what's around here. Not much it seems, but let's go explore for a bit while the car charges. Well, there is a church and a tourist office. That's a start. I wonder what GNR is, and I think it's not what I associate with it. I've noticed that before. They don't care much for sidewalks in some places in Portugal. If you know if these oversized artificial flowers on the balconies have this special meaning, please let me know in the comments. Okay, Guardia Nacional Republicana, National Republican Guard. Not Guns N' Roses. Okay, since I have some time to kill, I'm going up there. Okay, I think we can head back towards the car. It should be good enough for the rest of the way today now. And just one more stop on the way back. That is of course a must on this Portugal trip. Cute church, check. So it's a Sunday. But even for that, I think this town is like suspiciously quiet. What's happening? Yeah, we're good. Leaving the town, the road carries me through a landscape that looks unlike anything I'd seen so far. For stretches, the earth turned black, trees stripped down to brittle silhouettes, fields marked by fire. It's a reminder that Portugal's interior is as vulnerable as it is beautiful. Every summer, wildfires sweep through the countryside, leaving these scars behind. And yet even here, life pushes back. Green shoots appear among the ashes, villages carry on, and the rhythm of the road continues. Driving through it, you realize that the journey isn't just about the postcard views. It's also about seeing the land as it really is, shaped by weather, by work, by time, and sometimes by destruction. Heading south, these dark stretches become part of the story too. A landscape marked by struggle, but also by quiet resilience. first massive granite boulders begin to rise out of the earth. They look almost sculpted, as if nature had been chiseling away for centuries to leave these silent monuments behind. Granite is one of Portugal's most important stones, not just in landscape like this, but in the fabric of the country itself. For centuries, it's been the backbone of villages and cities, used in houses, streets, churches, pavements. Entire towns are built on granite and sometimes even into it, as we will see soon enough in Monsanto. These rocks are more than just scenery. They're part of Portugal's identity, shaping both its architecture and its sense of permanence. Driving past them, you feel like you're entering a different world. One where stone isn't just background, but foundation. As we are approaching our final destination for today, the weather is clearing up, so I am hoping for some nice light when I take you through town. Let's hope it stays this way.
Links abbiegen auf Rua do Castelo. Dann befindet sich das Ziel links.
I have arrived at my apartment for tonight, and of course we need to have the room tour. Nice large double bed. And right next door, well, that's not even a door, but right next to it is the living area with a nice couch and also the kitchen area. And the bathroom has all you need in a bathroom and some more. Okay, so I have all this whole apartment for myself for tonight. Did cost me 115, so it's cheaper than last night, but it's the second most expensive night I've had on this trip when it comes to lodging. But and also I forgot to say, so there's like cheese and ham and jelly and butter and stuff in the fridge, and he said in the morning they will deliver fresh bread to my door. So breakfast is settled. Well, this village, Monsanto, or small town, Monsanto, sits on a hill, on top of a hill. And this house is way on top of the town, so it doesn't get much higher than here. And I couldn't get to the house with a car. I had to leave it about 150 meters, 200 meters down the road, and then have a steep climb up here to the house. So I did not bring my whole suitcase with me. I just grabbed the stuff that I need for the night and left the suitcase in the car, in the trunk, because it's quite a climb. So, okay. But actually, I'm gonna get back to the car and grab some more stuff, and I'll take you along, because there is something else I wanted to show you. Yeah, this whole town is built between, around, above and partly under rocks. So more about that in a little bit. And of course, there is also an absolutely amazing view. Oh, and a cute church. Let's go. Okay, it's not actually a church, it's a bell tower, but it's cute anyway. So how did this come to be? Well, it all started in the 12th century, and all you Assassin's Creed fans must be very brave now. It started with the Knights Templar. Back then, King Afonso Henriques, who was the first Portuguese king, gave them this hill, and what do Templars do? Of course, they built a castle on top. And as the boulders were already there, they integrated them into the walls. I mean, it's not dumb. Boulders make excellent walls. Why carve stone when it's already there? Also, boulders insulate really well and they are tough to break. So after some time, the town just expanded around that castle, and other people also used the boulders that were already there as natural walls, and after more time, it simply became Monsanto's identity. And that's why you have this very, very unique little town on top of this granite hill. Yes, Monsanto celebrates San Sebastian Day. So there's a festivity going on and we're checking it out. You can hear it already, I guess. I can't believe I just drove a rental car through here. It's the next morning, and of course, before we leave, we got to see where it all started and visit the castle. This is giving me some serious Assassin's Creed vibes. Okay, fortresses in the Middle Ages often only had 2 gates because, I mean, doors are easier to break than walls, right? So there's one, that's the front gate. And here's the other. Perfect location for a fortress, right? I mean, you can see for miles and miles, and if any enemy would approach, you would see them like hours ahead. That's why you'd have to be an assassin to attack this one, so you can sneak through the bushes and climb up the boulders and never be seen. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd. So you can see here how they integrated the boulders into the walls, setting the theme for the whole town, really. Pretty smart. All right, now it's really time to say goodbye to Monsanto. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I will see you for the next one. And until then, have a wonderful time. Take care.